Hi everyone, welcome. From all of us at Tired Old Queen at the Movies, happy Pride. And now let's go do my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Let's go see Steve Hayes, the Tired Old Queen at the Movies. Come on.
Ooh, Johnny! Come on! Johnny, it's Gay Pride, and I decided to do a movie of one of my favorite gay stars ever, Rock Hudson. And I chose one of the movies that he made with Douglas Sirk, the director who made him a star. 1957's Tarnished Angels, with Robert Stack, Dorothy Malone, Jack Carson, and Rock Hudson. And this was the follow-up film, though not a sequel, to Written on the Wind, the big hit the year before, which had gotten Stack nominated for the Academy Award and won Dorothy Malone the Best Supporting Actress of 1956. This is essentially a story taken from a William Faulkner novel. Faulkner always said this is the best film version of any of the novels that he did. The novel's called Pylon, and it takes place in the Depression in New Orleans. And these aerialists, they were daredevil flyers, and they would go from one pylon to the other and do all these tricks and loops and things back and forth and back and forth. They were sort of carny people. And Rock Hudson plays a disillusioned reporter, and he is kind of alcoholic.
Did you expect me to spike it with cream?
He doesn't believe in anything or anyone, least of all himself, and he decides to do a story on this particular flyer, Roger Schumann, played by Robert Stack, who was a World War I flying ace and now is reduced to doing shows at carnies and flying around these pylons.
There they go!
His wife, Laverne, is Dorothy Malone, and she has just always loved him. He abuses her. He doesn't treat her very nicely. They have a son. He's always alluding to the fact that he doesn't know if he's the father of the son.
Who's your old man today, kid? Huh? Who's your old man?
He just treats her miserably, and they have a mechanic played by wonderful Jack Carson. How Jack Carson never got an Academy Award, I'll never understand. And he has always been in love with Laverne.
If you don't marry her, I will.
So you have this sort of dynamic going on, and into this all comes Rock Hudson. Now, the minute Rock Hudson comes in, he's supposed to be doing this article about Robert Stack, but he's really more interested, the writer in him is more interested in Dorothy Malone because she's beautiful, she's sad-eyed, she just puts up with this.
And it was love at first sight.
For me it was.
Not for Roger.
She climbs out on the wings of airplanes and jumps off and does all these tricks with, with parachutes and stuff. And he just can't understand why she stays with him, and he starts to fall in love with her.
A few more drinks and I'd tell you how much I'm going to miss you.
Tell me. Please tell me. I've forgotten how it feels to be missed.
There's danger at every single turn. People are constantly getting killed. Rock Hudson demanded that Troy Donahue get cast in this.
Yeah, well, it's just as well because I'm going to take all the prizes anyway.
It's exactly what he did last week in Oklahoma City.
And Troy Donahue plays one of the pilots who gets killed. And so there's always the danger that they're not coming back. They're running out of money. They don't know where to go, and Dorothy Malone feels that she's probably going to have to sell herself to a guy who's willing to take on her husband as a regular act if she'll put out for him.
Where will I find Mr. Ord?
Forget it, Laverne. Raj, don't forget it.
Where do I find him, Jakes?
Tell her!
It's seedy like that. And Rock is trying to talk her out of it, and she thinks that he's trying to put the moves on her and downplay her husband. And you think that you always think through the movie as you're watching it that Malone and Hudson are going to fall in love with each other, but they don't. She stays true to him through the whole thing. And you watch all these characters have definite arcs. You watch them all change towards each other and grow under this amazing carnival atmosphere. And then tragedy strikes. And everything changes. Rock Hudson at this particular juncture had just done Giant. He had just done Written on the Wind. His star was just ascending, and he was 2 movies away from doing the movie that made him the box office sensation of the 60s, Pillow Talk with Doris Day.
Got a roly-poly baby, sweet as apple pie. He is just a roly-poly, but so am I.
Call her.
But his movies with Sirk were always probing and different and really tested his mettle as an actor, as you'd seen in Magnificent Obsession, in All That Heaven Allows, where he was the leading man with Jane Wyman.
God knows I love you, but I won't let Ned nor Kane or anyone else run our lives, Carrie. Don't you see we'd never be happy if we did?
I can see that you don't want to listen to anybody's ideas but your own.
In Written on the Wind, and in Giant, where he was the leading man with Elizabeth Taylor. He could play straight leading men, and he had America fooled, and he was fighting like crazy to keep his homosexuality in check. If you want to find out more about Rock Hudson, I highly recommend Mark Griffin's fabulous bio on him, All That Heaven Allows, a biography of Rock Hudson. It's just the best inside look at this intricate, talented, and tortured actor. Rock Hudson, yes, died of AIDS in the early 80s, and for a long time, his career was relegated to that. He was the scandalous death of Rock Hudson dying of AIDS. And there hasn't been enough of a look at Rock Hudson as the actor that he really was, and he was great.
Forsook all earthbound vanities, home, family, and love. Why? Because deep down he knew that a man without blood in his veins has got to fall down, sooner or later.
We've come a long way, baby. And Rock Hudson was one of the people that helped move us along. So I think you're going to be fascinated by Rock Hudson, Robert Stack, Jack Carson, and one of my favorites, Dorothy Malone, in Douglas Sirk's fabulous The Tarnished Angels. Happy Gay Pride from all of us at Tired Old Queen at the Movies. Rookie.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Johnny, for Gay Pride, I decided to do Johnny, for Gay Pride, I decided to do the career, not the whole career. You're not doing the whole career. Sorry.